here we are. So top 3 spring or late spring, early summertime bass fishing lures that catch monsters. We're gonna go over them. Can you guess? Comment below, what are your top 3? Let me know. Let's jump in and we're gonna take a closer look. My very first choice is the Flippin Jig. Why the Flippin Jig, you may ask? Well, listen, it's a versatile bait and it's gonna get you in places that fish stay. In the heat of the summer, I mean late spring, early summer in Florida is super hot. You probably know that. But the big jig, 3/4 ounce to 1 ounce is what I'm gonna usually throw. In stain water, it's gonna be the black and blue, the black, or the June bug. Absolutely top 3 best baits, and if I had to choose one color or best color, it would be the black and blue. Now you can fish reeds, cattails, lily pads, everywhere where them fish are seeking cover and shade, they're gonna be sitting under there. Another great thing about the Flippin Jig is that you can change the profile by simply adding a trailer. I mean, you can add a Gambler beaver tail or a flat daddy. I mean, there's all kinds of different swimmer type style trailers that you can add just to give it a larger profile and a bigger flare, put off some vibration. So it's super good in that sense. Now, the reel of choice here, you're gonna throw for flipping, I recommend 65-pound braid or higher, and you're gonna have a high speed. For example, this is the 7:6 to 1 gear ratio, the PC Fun Carbon X. And that way, when you set that hook, you're winching down, you got a heavy rod, and you're gonna really crank them up out of those that vegetation, and you need to do it fast so you don't get broken off. That is ultimately what you wanna set your rig up with, a jig, high-speed reel, and that's gonna get the job done just fine. So my very next choice is a search bait, more specifically so, the chatterbait. Now, why the chatterbait, you may ask? Well, first off, a 1/2 ounce chatterbait, guys, you can throw a mile. So you're gonna cover a lot of water. It puts off a beautiful vibration and gives sometimes a natural presentation. So it really looks like a bait fish. Now, going to that, for example, you see a nice contrast in bait here. I'm using my favorite black and blue with a nice white and silver flake power bait swimmer. Now you can put a fluke on here, you can put many different trailers, but I'm telling you, this is a deadly combination. So one of the things that's really nice is you can fish submerged vegetation such as hydrilla without getting hung up all the time. You throw this out, long cast, and literally run it right above that vegetation, pulling those bass out, and even when they're not feeding, you can get that reaction strike because the blade throws off so much buzz along with the swimming tail, sometimes they just can't resist it. Now, the trailers and things are going to be just dependent on, or the colors are going to be dependent on the water clarity, just like the jig. Darker colors, you're going to want to throw high contrast bait, such as black and blue, and it works very, very well. Also, 15-pound test fluorocarbon, 12 to 15 is going to be ideal, especially for fishing cover. That's going to help, you know, have the bait with the most action, get it down to the depths that you need. Now, the reel that I recommend is not this one. I just rigged it up on this real quick to show you guys. But it's going to be the 6:3 to 1 gear ratio, like a Phantom X 6:3 to 1 gear ratio. That's going to be optimal for all of your moving baits, crankbaits, not crankbaits, but you could use it for crankbait, but spinner bait, your bladed baits, things like that. 6:3 to 1, I feel, is the perfect speed for these type style baits. So hey, what do you think? Have you ever tried a chatterbait? I mean, I think it's really like the 2.0 of the spinner bait. I really believe it's a very, very good bait. Let me know your thoughts below. Let's move on to number 3. Coming in hot. Woo! Come on now, get on down here, little doggy. Yee-hoo. The last and final bait is the Sinkhole. So the Sinkhole has been a revolutionary bait created by Gary Yamamoto. And let me tell you, this is the simplest stick bait on the market, and it is deadly. So I have to admit, if you want to put fish in the boat, this is probably your go-to bait. I mean, it's a slower bait, but it is absolutely deadly. Now, it doesn't always catch the biggest fish, but it will catch you fish. With that being said, you can rig this bait several different ways. The primary ways that you're going to rig it is Texas style, which you see here. That's the most effective in my opinion. And then wacky. Wacky is not weedless. Texas allows you to get through some thick stuff. You could flip this, you could cast it, you could do every type of fishing or style fishing with this particular worm. Wacky, it gives off some major vibration, but then again, it's not weedless, so you could risk the chance of getting hung up. Like all of them, black and blue with a blue tail, oh my gosh, in Florida, this thing will kill. It will catch some major fish, guys. June bug, it's deadly. I highly recommend it. It's a very, very simple rig to set up. All you do, I put a little rubber bead up on my line here. Then what I do is I go ahead and put a bullet weight, a screw-in bullet weight, my hook, and then of course you weedless rig your Sinkhole on here. And anything from 5 to 7-inch Sinkhos are deadly. Gambler, in my opinion, makes one of the best. The garlic scented Sinkhos just do the job, boys and girls. So that is my 3 top favorite, most productive big bass baits for late spring, early summer. If you like those baits, hey, give a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you comment below. Let me know, what are your go-to baits this time of year? Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, do you have a recommendation? Hit us up in the comments. Give us a recommendation. You want to know something or need more information? Let us know. We'll be happy to oblige. Hey, until next time, I'll see you on the water.